boxer, maybe some of it could be attributed to charisma, to generational run, would not have been possible without the looks.
You mentioned your charisma. What another phrase is jester maxing.
Self-deprecating humor, someone cracking an egg on their head and saying, "Oh, look at me, I'm such an idiot," or something in front of girls.
I might argue that I'm mogging you right now.
Clav's on mad, but
Him never having sex with a woman, you were trying to make him look bad.
All I said to him was, do you think you'd be less intense about everything if you just got laid? I was doing a bit of jester maxing. You were in a van singing along to Heil Hitler. Do you regret doing that? Every so often there's a trend or a craze which makes many reasonable people want to turn off the internet, possibly forever, and live in a deserted barn. And my cortisol certainly spiked when I read very recently about looks maxing. It's the catch-all term for a male-only regimen of intensive grooming for the purposes of maximizing, in their view, physical attractiveness. Measures may include fillers, facial implants, tongue exercises, or even smashing in your own face, breaking bones to make it look more chiseled. Well, Braden Peters,
Khalil inside, yes, bro,
is the world-leading looks maxer. He was recently profiled in the New York Times, no less, and he joins me now. Clavicular, welcome to Uncensored.
Thanks for having me, Piers.
What you say, Khalil? You're smoking a fat one, bro.
Do you like me called Braden? Clavicular? What do I call you?
I usually just go by Clav if you want to keep it chill.
Clav, let's keep it chill. So look, I want to start with a clip. This is you talking to Andrew Tate.
Yo,
actually about
he's bare autistic, my man. You just go by a Clav if you want to keep it chill.
So look, I want to start with a clip. This is you talking to Andrew Tate, actually about the prospect of being interviewed by me.
Do you have any advice for Clav on facing Piers Morgan?
Piers,
Yeah, because
he's not a snake because he doesn't stab you in the back. He stabs you directly in the chest. So he's going to go to war with you. But you know that.
Yeah.
Just keep it cool. He's going to come for you. He's going to interrupt you, try and frustrate you, all this bullshit. But
That's perfect for me. I never.
yeah, I think cortisol stays low.
Cortisol is very low.
Yeah, I
I
think.
think my man on the left, this Clavicular, I've seen him like clipped on stuff before. I think he has done a few mad things, but I just don't even know what he's done. He just seems like a joke guy anytime I see him.
I think media, Piers, all these people, they all had a lot more power 4 or 5 years ago.
Now, Clav, what I found kind of a bit mystifying about that was, A, that you would be a bit panicky about being interviewed by me because you seem a confident young man. And the second, that you take any advice from Andrew Tate because by definition of what he does and the way he conducts himself, interviews with him are always quite full on, quite confrontational, and so on. I'm struggling, having researched you and your life and what you've built for yourself. I don't really see that you're the same kind of
Yo, didn't clock that. He does look like Ryan Garcia, doesn't he? I didn't clock that, you know.
character. And we're going to come to the night that you had with him and Nick Fuentes and those other guys. But you've been positioned with them all as a kind of right-wing headbanger
That's joke.
online and
He
so on.
fully does.
I'm not entirely sure that's who you are. So we'll come to why that's happened. But why were you
I think this guy's literally just like blew up within like a few months over in America and that. He's just gone massive.
slightly apprehensive about doing this?
Well, it's just like he said. I think you've run a lot of hit pieces on people. I don't think your production team is fully honest about, sort of why you want to do these interviews. And I think you like to catch people, kind of off guard and make them look bad. But,
God willing, bro.
I don't think you're going to be as hostile towards me because it's like you said, I'm really not a political figure. This is kind of something new that we're discussing. We're discussing something that's more along the lines of self-improvement. That's kind of like a new.
He was on like, did you not see that thing of like Andrew Tate and all of them? He was on like some bus singing that Kanye song, the High Hitler one. He was on some bus going mad and he was on it. So I think that's one of the reasons why people are onto him a bit, innit?
Philosophy. I haven't really seen anywhere on the internet before.
Can you hear this sweet or does it need turning up? my man now on Piers Morgan and that. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I mean, look, in relation to what you just said about what I do, I would take issue with that, as I would with all the people I suppose you're referring to, because I don't set out to be overtly confrontational. I certainly don't set out to gotcha
That better or too loud?
these people, whether it's Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes, or whatever. What I tend to do is when they're people who deliberately say inflammatory things, I tend to put those comments back to them. We do our research. The production team that you've slightly maligned there will do a very thorough professional job, and I will put back to them their own words. Now, I will then challenge them about why they said it, the context in which they said it. Do they mean it? Do they really hold these inflammatory views, or are they just winding people up, and so on? But that is the job of a journalist. That's where you and I are different people. We're different animals. I'm a different animal to Fuentes and Tate and the others. They're kind of influencer stroke commentators, and you're in that category, I guess, without much of the commentary. You're a different kind of person. But my job when I interview people like you is just to get to the bottom of who you are, what you stand for, stuff you've done, stuff you've said. Why would you automatically assume that is a kind of gotcha mechanism?
He always talks like he's whited and white. Fucking Piers Morgan. Always, man. Gets on his eye horse with people. He's a bad guy. But I think what happens in this interview, I think my man on the right, this Clavicular, I think he sticks it on him about some Epstein shit or his wife being on some madness or stay tuned. Stay tuned for the madness. Some madness is about to happen. Trust me. You're about to see an old man get triggered, I think.
Well, I just assume that because that's kind of, historically what I've seen, right? That's just based off my own experiences.
So you've watched my interviews and think I try and trap people?
I think so. I think you deliberately try to make
Obviously.
people look bad. Usually people on like sort of the fringe of the right wing, but like I said before, as long as you sort of haven't, automatically aligned me there, maybe we'll be able to have a good interview that's not.
Yo, have you heard that new Tunde track, Kill You? That Built Different. It's fucking hard, reacted to it before earlier on in the stream at halftime of the City game. Hard. Probably gonna post a reaction, because, yeah, I'll probably post it. Fucking hard track that, What's it say? I don't even know the lyrics now, innit? Well, I was getting to know the lyrics. I said the new Tunde track, bro. Built Different. Have you heard it?
Just you looking for gotcha clips.
No, listen, I've got no desire to just look for a gotcha clip. I can promise you that. I don't think I said that with those other people.
Yeah. Yo, listen to it when you get a minute, bro. You'll rate it, it's hard.
Yeah, I don't think challenging people on what's come out of their own mouths is ever a gotcha in relation to the other people you're talking about. They can get quite lively, those interviews, because people tend to not be challenged like that. In the world that you swim in, it's rare that people like Nick Fuentes or Andrew Tate or others like that, Sneeko and others, that they get directly challenged about what they've said. And they find it a little bit unusual and sometimes a bit unsettling. But the clips that go out, I often think, I see the reaction to them. I'm like, really? You think that I just sit here and I just want to trap people when all I'm doing is repeating back to them what they've said? I don't think that's a trap. That's just holding people accountable for their own outpourings, right? Which is, like in your case, this is why I'm slightly mystified why you get boxed in with these guys, because I don't see much of a track record of you saying inflammatory right-wing things.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. I would say sort of people don't really know how to handle my ideology, so they want to figure out which political camp I'm a part of so desperately. So there's kind of a struggle to loop me into, specific groups. But
autism. He says he's autistic and that, innit? Yeah. What I seen a clip of him where he said, like, someone said to him, "Oh, what do your parents think about this content thing?" and that, and he said they think I'm severely autistic. Aren't we all, bro?
But it's like I always say, politics are jester. It's not something that I want to involve myself in. It's not something I want to talk about.
Autism. This is what I would like. Politics, bro. I can't be in one like bro. If someone does something wrong, they do something wrong in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I'm on their side or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what it is.
Because I just simply don't care. My main pursuit is that of aesthetics and improving my looks to the maximum degree, using every single mechanism available to me. So the fact that that's become a...
This is what he does. He looks maxing, I think it is, isn't it? He looks maxing. He always says like his only goal in life is to be as aesthetically pleasing as possible. Oh, he's a funny man, you know. I'll give him that.
Is that of aesthetics and simply don't care. My main pursuit is that of aesthetics and improving my looks to the maximum degree, using every single mechanism available to me. So the fact that that's become a political phenomenon just really doesn't make sense to me at all.
You've done pretty much everything in terms of aesthetics to make yourself look perfect, right? This is your ambition. I've done absolutely nothing. I don't even moisturize.
Listen, why for that, but he looks good, to be fair. Like, whatever he's done, get me my man's surgeon, bro. It's probably Piers, but fucking hell, man. Big him up if that's what's made him famous, innit?
My face. I've never had any plastic surgery, never had any Botox, never taken any enhancing drugs, nothing. This is...
Yo, listen, be right back. Won't get in a drink. Man, need a drink. Quick and fast. Quick and fast. Nah, not even, bro. Bro, you know what it is? I got a fridge when I moved in here, yeah? And fucking the fridge broke within like 2 weeks, bro. I bought it off Facebook Marketplace, like some dickhead, bro. Like, bought like all my units and everything like that, but off proper place. And I buy a fridge off Facebook Marketplace, like some retard in it. But like, I've got the fridge stuck in the gaff now, innit? So I didn't want to get another big fridge. I need to get like a fridge from a place where they're going to come and remove this fridge in it and put this new fridge in. But fucking... So I've just bought a mini fridge for now. I've got a mini fridge in it. But really, bro, I want to put the mini fridge in here. So I just got it here, bro, at the side of me, in it. And get a proper fridge again, bro. I need a proper fridge, a fridge freezer, because then I can get proper food like that, bro. But right now, bro, I can't even get shit like that, bro, because I've not got the fridge freezer in it, bro. It's a fucking joke. It's a joke, bro. I shouldn't be living like this, bro. Shouldn't be living like this, man. It's peak. And I'll bang my hood up, man, because it's fucking loud in these earphones, this, man. Bang my hood up like this. Put them over there. Yeah, this might be a bit better, this. This is nice. Yeah, bro. Yeah. That's well better. Need to bring it up a bit like that, so still see a good bit of my face and that. Sound. Yeah. Sound.
Me the way God intended. Do you think when you look at the pair of us that you are more aesthetically appealing than me?
Obviously.
That's so fun. Coolest plugin I ever used.
Trust we're struggling out here, man. It's peak. Life's peak right about now.
I don't really think it's necessary or beneficial to anyone to sort of, do some comparison, in our looks level, because Well, most of it can be attributed to self-improvement. There is a big genetic role. So, my entire ideology is more so about improving, not really about comparison too much.
But my argument about that,
Big up my man, that's a true G. That's my thing, bro. Like, don't look to compare with people and this and that, like, bro. As long as I'm trying to do better, you know what I'm saying? Big up my man. That's a true, like, that's what a true number one guy would say in it. You know what I'm saying? They won't get into semantics with Piers Morgan. I'm saying, like, he's obviously more aesthetically pleasing, and it's not even, why would he even say that?
just generally
He's asking for a beating in it. He's cruising for a bruising, Piers Morgan.
about the whole self-improvement boom of the last 20 years, is a lot of people that go down that path end up looking worse than they did to start with. And that actually, the best way to look good is not to go down the path of relentless self-improvement, to trust what you were given by the good Lord and to avoid doing too much to yourself. I see so many people, particularly in entertainment.
Nah, it is a bit mad getting stuff done and that, innit? You know what I mean? Bit of jawline filler won't go amiss or something, innit? Or, you know what I'm saying? I'll get my teeth done at some point. If that's what you want to do, innit, then do it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, my man, to look like this, he's probably taking it way too far. That's probably what he's talking about. There's probably some evidence out there that he does madness, probably spent madness on getting himself looking good. It's a bit mad if you're spending like a lot of dough. But at what point does it become a business? Like, you put money into something and you make money from it. Like, if he's putting money into making himself look good and people are watching him because of that and he's becoming way massive more famous. Say he spent 100k on looking this way, but he's made £2 million. At what point is that just an investment? You know what I'm saying? You got to do what you got to do. It is what it is.
Who've just ruined themselves, ruined their faces in the pursuit of what they perceive to be aesthetic perfection.
But, well, that's because they don't know what they're doing.
You
A
might
lot of
know
them
about
are
these
opting to go with things
cherry
like filler and
Dr. Pepper.
Botox, which can, like you said,
Yeah, man.
lead to these botch jobs. You look at guys like, Zac Efron,
Still.
who have tons of filler in their face, and it starts to migrate. It's just not a look that anyone should be pursuing. But looks maxing can be as simple as losing weight, right? So even going on a diet, which I'm sure.
Oh, so he's talking here now. He's fully talking here now, like he's not even. Did he say he's not even had filler? What's he on about, man?
A lot of them are opting to go with things like filler.
But my argument about that, just generally about the whole self-improvement boom of the last 20 years.
Nah, this isn't normal Dr. Pepper, though. It's American one, bro. This is fire, G. This is fire, bro. More sugar, more madness, more diabetes. It's going off in this one, isn't it? It's going off.
Is a lot of people that go down that path end up looking worse than they did to start with. And that actually, the best way to look good is not to go down the path of relentless self-improvement, to trust what you were given by the good Lord and to avoid doing too much to yourself. I see so many people, particularly in entertainment, who've just ruined themselves, ruined their faces in the pursuit of what they perceive to be aesthetic perfection.
I hear him.
Well, that's because they don't know what they're doing.
I hear what Piers is saying. Like, like your Katie Price and that, she looks dead. But she was bad back in the day when she was on like I'm a Celebrity and all of that, and she was with Peter Andre. You know what I mean? I used to watch her show on that on ITV, her and Peter Andre. She was always looking bad. But now she literally looks like an alien to me. Like, when I see Katie Price, I just see an alien. Like, her arms and her legs are all mad. And she's done mad stuff and she just gets away with it as well, Katie Price. She's a madhead. She's a proper yammed. Proper yammed.
Aesthetic perfection.
But, well, that's because they don't know what they're doing. A lot of them are opting to go with things like filler and Botox, which can, like you said, lead to these botch jobs. You know, you look at guys like, you know, Zac Efron, who have tons of filler in their face and it starts to migrate. It's just not a look that anyone should be pursuing. But looks maxing can be as simple as losing weight, right? So even going on a diet, which I'm sure is something that you've done previously, is part of looks maxing. It's not just these super intensive plastic surgeries or these cosmetic procedures. It's just anything that's going to improve your looks.
Well, I've never been on a diet, one. Secondly, I have recently lost 5 kilos. Well, recently I've lost 5 kilograms because I managed to break my femur and have a hip replacement. And so I've not been drinking and I've been eating quite healthily.
Big him up. Fair enough.
And it's amazing.
He had to do that, though. He had to do that.
The weight just drops off. So I'm somebody who likes to drink. Yeah, well, it's not a diet. It's an enforced regime that's come about through an injury, right? So a diet is a...
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's saying what I just said. Fair enough. He's real. He's pretty real, Piers Morgan. I'll give him that. But he can come with an agenda sometimes.
Voluntary.
That's literally a diet.
Well, it's that. Well, no, it's not, because a diet is a voluntary regime you go into for no other reason than you want to lose weight. I went into an involuntary regime forced upon me by circumstance of a fracture.
It doesn't matter how it's forced upon you.
Staying late again?
Yep, got prospect calls to summarize.
You really need to switch to Monday CRM. Your old CRM is holding you back.
My CRM is not old, it's...
Well,
any sort of deviation...
One is voluntary.
No, it doesn't matter if it's voluntary or not. It's a deviation from your normal routine, right? Whether or not you're forced to be in a caloric deficit or not, it's still a diet, you know, like, and, you know, regardless, it doesn't really matter. You've done a calorie deficit before. That can be something that's considered looks maxing. So by definition, Piers, you are a looks maxer. You're just someone who is kind of on the surface level of it, right? I'm saying that in such a competitive dating market, you might need to take it a step further and sort of maybe utilize some peptides, maybe get a little bit leaner than, you know, your current body fat percentage. That's kind of all I'm saying.
Right, but I mean, I might argue that I'm mogging you right now.
Okay, well, you know, that's a fair perspective. Go for it.
For those who don't know what I've just said, what does mogging mean?
Basically outshining someone, looking better than them. And there's different types of mogs, right? There's status mogs, there's, you know, money mogs. So, you know what it is
in this content thing. That's what you need to do, you know. You need to make it like, you need to have like a team in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need, what am I trying to say here? I'm saying mad autistic stuff there in it. You need to have like your own like sayings and stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know why I said something else. Said bare madness. But yeah, you need like sayings in it. Like him there, he's got his own sayings. That's what people know him by now, innit? You know what I mean? They're referring to it and all of that. So it's one of them.
Might have me in those categories, but I think we need to add in a little bit of nuance that it's not a looks mog, you know.
So you would say that you have the edge over me in looks mogging?
I think I might have you by just a small margin. I don't know, but that could be attributed to youth, you know. So
yeah, but youth
who knows?
Isn't
back in the day,
youth. A lot of women find the older dude. A lot of women find the older dude more appealing than the young, pimply youth, you know?
Well, you know, absolutely. But I would say for the most part, looks are an extremely objective thing. And that's sort of what I'm trying to, you know, push people towards realizing is that, well, you might not know these facial ratios that make someone attractive and harmonious or not. They're subconscious, right? And everyone is judging you based off of them. And it's not something that's within anyone's control. So simply being able to identify them and improve upon them is a very beneficial thing.
Okay, well, let's have a look at you before you started all this, and we'll compare to what you look like now. So there's the before and
Mad.
after.
Mad.
What age were you in the before picture? Can you see that where you are?
Yeah, I would have been 16 years old.
And the one on the right is what are you now? You're 20?
Yeah.
So you've been
Well,
through
Obviously, he's going to look a bit different from like 16 to 20, but that is pretty mad. He looks way different. He don't even look like the same person.
I would have been when
obviously
I
a
was 19, I
transformation.
believe.
Okay, so you've been through a big physical transformation, that's clear. Your face has changed dramatically. So what have you
Yeah.
done to your face to look
Mad
max
that, innit?
yourself?
It's a lot of pharmaceutical intervention, especially during puberty, right? So this is going to be the time where it's most important for people to optimize sort of their growth mechanisms and their growth pathways. And a few of the ways I did this is with exogenous hormones like testosterone, like human growth hormone. I did things like block aromatase, which is testosterone converting into estrogen so that I would actually grow taller. So there's plenty of different mechanisms that I leverage to sort of masculinize myself a little bit more and to become a little bit bigger. So, it would just take me so long to go through every little step that I took to looks max.
Okay, but then there's a harder degree called hard maxing, which is my
Correct.
understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, because this is your lingo, not mine, which is often surgical or invasive methods to alter appearance, fillers, implants, plastic surgery. So a more dramatic way to use surgical enhancement. Is that accurate?
That's accurate, yes.
Have you done much hard maxing to yourself?
Well, a lot of people consider anabolic steroids to be within the hard maxing category, and I've done things like both. Look at what happened.
I want to get to the point where he calls out. He says something about Piers' wife. I've seen this little clip.
To my life,
But I
right?
can't even fully remember what he says, but I know he says something mad, and Piers like starts seeing his ass.
I became that millionaire. I became famous, and a lot of things just started going really well for me. Who knows if this would have happened?
See, that's what he's saying. He's saying exactly what I'm saying. He's saying he's like he's doing more with his looks because he's famous because of it, innit? He's saying exactly that same shit. You know what I'm saying? Which makes sense. Like, if you're gonna make £2 million or £1 million or whatever from spending £50,000, £100,000 on like fucking making yourself look better, you're gonna do it, innit? And make the P. Like, everything has money that you put into it, innit? He's literally saying he don't even know if he would have even started taking it more further if he never got famous. It's true.
Going to have a direct correlation with improvement in your life, right? So sort of as soon as I started really ascending and really getting into those high percentile looks, look at what happened to my life, right? I became that millionaire. I became famous, and a lot of things just started going really well for me. Who knows if this would have happened?
Big him up, man. I like sugar too much. I need to get in shape though. I need to get in the gym. But I like sugar too much, man. But soon come we get going on the fiber side, and it's a mad thing.
And if I were, in
The act of using
Yes.
humor, clowning, or
deprecating
have you managed to seduce many women by cracking eggs on yourself?
humor, like, someone cracking an egg on their head or something like that and saying, oh, look at me, I'm such an idiot or something in front of girls. So it's its own very unique thing.
That's just a max, and I think cracking your egg on the head in front of a girl and laughing. What the fuck, bro?
Just being a clown and, stuff like that. I think everyone knows a jester when they see it. And sort of once you know this terminology, you're going to be able to use it in your day-to-day life quite perfectly.
Have you managed to seduce many women by cracking eggs on yourself?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced jester maxing is the way to go. Slay maxing.
No.
Is
I'm
actually having-
anti-jester maxing. Yeah.
Oh, you're
So,
anti
no,
it.
no, no.
I beg your...
Yeah. Jester
Oh,
maxing
he's
is
not
very
you
reading
agree
that.
with me?
term.
Oh,
Yes.
See, Piers like me, I weren't understanding. So he's not rating doing shit like that. Yeah, that's sort of wrong. I'm like, why would you even do that? The man do that. That must be like a rugby boy thing or something like that. Like they crack their egg on the other person and like, you know what I mean, Jester maxing or something mad.
No, I agree
got
with
it.
you, absolutely.
Jester maxing is it. I'm sorry. I've got Mr. on my rant. So Jester...
But some rugby man do mad shit and gals still rate it. Don't get it twisted. Like, it's crazy. The big muscles and that in it doesn't matter.
maxing's an insult.
Oh, yeah. No, the last thing you want to do is be a jester. Very last thing.
Got it. Slay maxing, that means to have sex, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, I need to get into this. Man.
What's the significance of using the word slay? Had any connection with him? Not in the Epstein files, other than references to being at lunches. Had any connection? Hang on.
You know what I mean? Why would you go to that island, Piers? Got a yay thing as well for you. So why would you go to that island, Piers?
Which island?
You know what I mean? So that's the point. Is like we can all point fingers and go bad clips.
No. Wait a minute.
He's trolling him differently.
Which island? You mean the Epstein Island? Obviously, I've never been there. Never met Epstein. Never had any connection with him. Not in the Epstein files, other than references to being at lunches.
Other
and
than
nothing to do with him. Well, no. You can go read them. The beauty of the Epstein files, you can go and check my name. You can read every end.
He's onto him now. And all the Epstein files are out there. So him saying that, all the beauty of it, and he knows no more of them coming out now, I don't think, or something. Or there's only one more lot coming out.
Entry, you'll see none of them have anything to do with him or his activities or anything. I'm just mentioned in passing as having been at completely unconnected events. So there's nothing to do
about
with that. I met Ghislaine Maxwell. Well, I'm about to come to that. So I was pictured with her. Okay, I was pictured with her at a book launch for 5 minutes. I've talked about it. She admitted that under oath. The only time we'd ever met was for 5 minutes. So I have no connection to that scandal at all, other than I once met her for 5 minutes at a book launch. So let me come back to you in the van with the Heil Hitler song playing.
Well, this is like a little bit ridiculous because you're with
hang on.
Piers, you're with the number one.
I'm going to finish my question.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
The clash at the end.
Let me finish my question. I'm just curious because Ye has now publicly apologized for all his anti-Semitic behavior and language in a full-page advertisement he took out in a newspaper. That came after the
silenced
the thing with the van. You've seen Andrew Tate trying to backtrack from what happened there. Fuentes doubles down because that's what he does about everything. He views it all probably as a bit of a joke and it doesn't matter. Stico, I don't think really matters. He's not significant in the way I think that you are in terms of influence.
Yeah, but this is what a lot of people don't realise, man. There's a lot of Jews out there, innit? But like, there's a lot of bad Jews out there. There's a lot of good Jews out there, though, innit? And like Hitler weren't right. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to kill all the Jews. He didn't just want to kill the Jews who were Zionists, innit? Because there's Jews and then there's Zionists. The Zionists want to take over the world, innit? That's the Jews who are mad. And then there's Orthodox Jews. They're all cool. Like, you can have a conversation with one of them. They're actually funny and whatever, you know what I'm saying? I've seen videos. Billy the Goat went to Stamford Hill, bro, like some big Jew community, bro, and he was partying with them and that, bro, and they seem sound. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro, you know, man put you on. So this fucking, I get put on by this internet shit, bro. Everything I've ever learnt's on the internet, bro. It's mad. Don't know what I'd do about the internet.
But I look at you there, and you've got a guy behind you literally doing the Nazi salute as Heil Hitler plays in this van. A song that basically pays... Well, hang on. A song that pays tribute. Well, you're singing along to the song, and it pays tribute to the most genocidal monster of the last 100 years. And I'm just curious whether you think it's funny.
And I find it quite silly to me that you're with the number one looks maxer, and instead of asking how you could ascend so that, your wife wouldn't tweet out captions like, when my husband's away, Mr. Sud comes out to play. Maybe if you asked me how to ascend, then that would stop happening to you. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're distracting, and that's fine. You're having your fun.
Lord have mercy. That was savage, bro. Khalil, imagine your bird putting that on Snapchat, bro, when you go on holiday. Imagine you going on holiday and your bird puts this on Snap.
Your wife looks all there is to it, right? And I find it quite silly to me that you're with the #1 looks maxer, and instead of asking how you could ascend so that, your wife wouldn't tweet out captions like, when my husband's away, Mr. Sud comes out to play. Maybe if you asked me how to ascend, then that would stop happening to you.
Dark.
You know what I mean?
Dark.
Okay, so you're distracting, and that's fine. You're having your fun. I've got no problem with that. But just to be clear, you were in a van singing along to Heil Hitler. Do you regret doing that?
Well, I didn't play it, right? So it's like if someone were to come next to you in the street and play a song, it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know why you're trying to get
sang
political
along to
with
it.
me. And this is exactly what I mean by your production. Wait, listen.
No.
I've got nothing to do with it.
I'm just curious.
I've got nothing to do with it.
Well,
so
you're singing along.
I really have nothing to do with it.
Clav's trying to hide from the madness. You don't want none of it.
Have nothing to do with it. And this is what I mean, right? So you basically lied to, my PR team that you wanted to come and interview me about looks maxing. And this is what you do, right?
I've literally spent the first keep things with you are.
Creating custom clothing labels with Tap Stitch is...
My man just wants to talk about looks maxing. You don't want to talk about nothing else. He's just looks maxing. Big up Clav, he's
easy.
Fucking joke.
Go to your branding tab, choose your label size and background.
My man is too funny.
Scared to collaborate with people. That's something that was good for my career, objectively, to collab with bigger creators. It's like, just as I would with any leftist.
Same thing that I explained to you at the start about my interviews with Tate and Fuentes and others, is that all I do is put to people what they've done and said, right? In the same way that you said to me, I saw a picture of you with Ghislaine Maxwell, or you're in the Epstein vote, and I can answer you. I expect to get questions, I answer them. And my advice to you is if you don't want to be asked about stuff like being in the back of a van with a bunch of right-wing headbangers singing Heil Hitler, then the best thing to do is not be in the back of a van singing Heil Hitler with a bunch of right-wing headbangers. Would you agree with me?
Not necessarily, because like if someone puts a song on and you're sitting in a car, like I don't really understand how that's supposed to be my fault. And like, why do you keep coming back to this, man? It's like, it's so silly to me,
Well, because you said to me that the only part of the interview you didn't like was when I got political, and I'm throwing back at you that the only reason I brought that up is because the biggest news story involving you this year.
But that's not even like a relevant. That's not even like a relevant story. That's like something that happened like over a month ago. It's like that's literally 4 press cycles previously. Like how is that even? How's that even something that you're still bringing up?
Of course it's relevant. Of course it's relevant, and it's not me being political. It's something
you
did. You got to own it. You got to own it and say whether you feel ashamed about it or not, whether you're sorry or not. It's up to you. I don't care. It's just something that you did that was very newsworthy and very notable. And like I say, I don't think you're one of those guys. Maybe you are. Maybe those guys.
Problem collabing with controversial figures, because that's just kind of my brand. Is like,
getting to know you a little better. I hope we do it again.
Yeah, you got me, Piers. So
all the best to you, Clav. Thanks a lot.
Have a good rest of your day. So take care.
All the best to you, Clav. Thanks a lot.
They didn't really clash there at the end. That was a bit of a waste of time. Well, listen, I'm going to jump off for a few hours. I might even do another stream early hours in the morning because I'm a madman. I'm up till after clock. So, whoever else is in here, apart from Khalil, follow up the thing, man. Get the notifications on so it notifies you when I go live. And fucking, yeah, man. Thanks, Khalil, bro, for coming in, my brother. Thanks for being active in the chat, man. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. Big up yourself. Big up whoever else keeps coming in the chat but doesn't say anything, man. You know what I'm saying? Come and, you know what I'm saying, bro? Chat next time you're in here, man. I'm out of here for now. Big up yourselves.